Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. So dumb. Hi YouTube. Today I'm here and today is my birthday. Whoop whoop, birthday. Or at least it'll be my birthday when I post this. I haven't worn this top before, but I'm really liking it. It's cute, huh? So in order to celebrate my birthday, I decided that I wanted to do a Q&A. So I asked you on Twitter and Facebook to give me some questions so I can answer them. So let's do it. At what point did you decide that being a YouTuber and a writer both at the same time was right for you? Would you recommend it for other creatives? What resources do you recommend? I was thinking about doing YouTube in 2010. I found an old notebook that I had, and in my notepads I like to write lists and ideas and things like that, and that was one of the ideas I had, was to create a YouTube channel and talk about books and writing. Now, there was a number of reasons that I didn't do it, but one of them was simply that I felt I didn't have equipment that was good enough to do YouTube. And I would suggest that if anyone who's watching this is thinking, should I do YouTube? Will it help me in whatever my creative endeavor is? I would say try it. Because you don't know. But when I actually did start doing YouTube, initially it was just because I moved out here to Hawaii, I didn't know anybody, and I was feeling lonely. But then I thought, what if I just talk about books and writing, because that's really what I'm into, instead of, because I was doing just kind of random videos about whatever, but that didn't really suit me. I don't really want to talk about my life all that much, and I'm not very funny. I think I have my moments, but I'm not a person who's funny on the spot. I'm not a comedian. So it didn't really feel for me that it would work to just talk about just whatever popped into my head. And I liked having a certain subject to talk about. And then I started doing it, and I realized, oh, I can use this as a way to kind of teach people about stuff, or to have conversations about different ideas, and to help people. And that's what I'm trying to do. I hope it's working. If not, I'll do better 2017. Cynthia asks, how long were you writing officially before you were able to make a living at it? After college, I worked full-time as a reporter. So, I mean, really, that was when I was truly able to sustain myself 100% in writing. Right now, I was just talking to a friend just the other day, and I was saying, it feels like now I am at the actual beginning of the freelance thing. Even though I started 3 years ago, it feels like now I've kind of built a little bit of a platform. I have some clips under my belt, I have some writing under my belt, and I'm going to have work that's going to be coming out fairly regularly. I feel like now I'm at my begin. I don't know where I was before, but now it feels like it's the beginning. So I wouldn't say that right now I'm able to self-sustain totally on my freelance writing. John Michael asks, if I could be any animal, what would I be? I would be a domestic house cat, because they have an awesome life. Richira Kana asks, what inspired me to take upon the journey of writing? What spurred the freelance writing and to do freelance full-time for me, and to try to write novels and do all of these things full-time, was when I almost died. I had pulmonary embolism, which are blood clots, and they traveled into my lungs. Is it cliched? Maybe. Is it reality? Yeah. Having that near-death experience made me realize that we're not promised tomorrow, and if I BS and try to wait for the perfect time. That perfect time's going to pass me by, and I'll die without having done what I really wanted to do. So, birthday fun. Okay. What role does your Appalachian upbringing play in your writing? I think that just the way that I was brought up, that you're supposed to keep certain things inside the family, and we were very encouraged to, if there was someone who was hungry, you brought them in and you fed them, things like that. I think that I bring those kind of ideas to my novels, even though I may twist them and turn them on their head. I still bring them to the table. So yeah, and I think that Appalachia, and particularly West Virginia, because that's where I'm from, I think that is a fascinating area that not a lot of people really tap into. Why are shirt and shoes required but no pants, but not pants? Because I have a no pants policy. Amy asks, what new project are you the most excited about? Okay, the new project that I am most excited about, I actually had a dream the other night, and I tweeted about it, but I had this dream, and I really want to write it as a short story. And it kind of made me wonder if I should try to do a project where I'm writing a few short stories per week, that maybe they're not necessarily connected, and perhaps they're not even made with putting them in front of the public in mind, but just writing a few short stories a week, so that I will have the opportunity to kind of explore other ideas while I'm working on these long-term projects. What's the most difficult subject you've ever tackled in your writing? How did you approach it? The most difficult subject I wrote about in my writing was a poem. It's in the Shaping of an Angry Black Woman poetry collection, and I talked about a lot of things that are deeply personal and are incredibly difficult to talk about. And writing about it through poetry was a way for me to talk and to get really deep into my feelings and my emotions without feeling incredibly... I still felt vulnerable, but it's a different kind of vulnerability than, like, let's say, talking in front of the camera. So, and if you want to know what those things are, you can go to the link down below and read the book. Read the book. Where do you find your courage? You aren't afraid, or if you are, it is hidden well to put yourself out there. I'm a person with a lot of fears. I have a lot of deep-seated fears, but if I let those fears rule me, then I wouldn't do anything. I would be in a state of suspended animation where I didn't grow and I didn't try, and I would be disappointed in myself and sad and dissatisfied. And I don't want that for myself. I don't want that for anybody. And that's why, even though I'm scared, I still do it anyway. Like, I am fun at parties, I promise. Billy Federer asked me a bunch of questions, and they're intense questions. I could tell that it was at a part of his night where he was thinking a lot of thinking thoughts. Do you feel like a tragic and archaic warrior for culture? No. Can we recover from dubstep, Lil Wayne, and Florida Georgia line, or should we sigh, give up, and assimilate into the corporate board? I think that there's already music that is amazing and incredible, and people are doing awesome things. It's there. You don't have to assimilate into the corporate board. How do we get the youth to read again? We find out what they like, and we get them books that correspond with those interests. And we don't try to limit them to stuff that we find acceptable. And we encourage them to start reading when they're little. And we make it fun, and we don't kill the fun in the reading. How do we present something meatier than a meme to the post-MTV generation? I feel as though I don't think that we older people give these younger kids enough credit. They are a very smart generation. And they, like, this YouTube stuff, this internet stuff, this is what they have been born into. So we have got to reach them at where they are. So maybe you start with a meme to start the conversation about interesting topics or tough topics or topics that'll make people think a little bit more. Maybe use the meme or a silly GIF or just something to start that conversation. It doesn't have to be the ending spot, but it's the beginning. And you go into this conversation not feeling like you're superior because you're older or because you're more experienced. And you listen, because conversations shouldn't happen one way, they should be two-way. That's probably the most frustrating thing about doing this YouTube thing, unless I do a live stream, is that this is like a one-way conversation for the most part. Like, people will comment stuff and I try to respond and all that, but really, if this were a two-way conversation, it would be that much more fulfilling. And I got off topic, but I think I answered the question, so we're gonna move on. Melissa Blue asked me, what flavor would your perfect birthday cake be, and what made you start writing? Perfect birthday cake. Something that has like chocolate on the outside and like a lemon filling gooiness inside. And what made me start writing? I started writing short stories when I was really, really little. Well, first I started just telling them because I would read with my mom, and I realized at some point it clicked in my mind that the stories I was reading were actually made by people. So I wanted to make stories too. So I started telling mom stories. And then I realized that, hey, I can write words now. So I started writing the stories down. It was a natural progression. And the poetry was because a boy broke my heart. So I wrote my first poem. And then I realized that something was there. Like, I connected to the words better through this poetry thing. And then I kept doing it. What do you want for your birthday? What do I want for my birthday? I want a few days off. I want a few days to unplug, a few days to just relax, a few days where I don't have to write or edit or do anything other than like just enjoy life. And I'm hoping that for the Mathematicians Christmas break that we're going to be able to take a few days and just go camping or go somewhere and just read. So that'd be awesome. Also a cat. And my final question from Alex and the Puppet: what movie that isn't already based on a book would you like to write as a novel? Alex, you're blowing my mind. Was Inception a book? So that's my problem. So many movies start out as a book and I never know. But if that's not a book, I would like to make that into a book. I think that would be really a fascinating world to explore on the written page. is my Q&A. Oh my god, I'm such a nerd. Alright, that was fun, you guys. Thank you so much for questions. Thank you for listening. If you want to give me a gift for my birthday, here's what you can do. I've got options. As I've said before, the Appalachian Terror Trail is coming out December 16th. I am trying to get people interested and get people to know about it. If you want to give me a gift and you're interested in horror stories or know someone who would like to read a horror story, you can pre-order it. Or you can help me to spread the word with my Thunderclap campaign. And that is where you pledge a tweet or a Facebook post or a Tumblr post to basically schedule it to talk about the book. And then on the 16th, all of these little bits will go out into the social media universe, and hopefully it'll help it to generate some attention. So those are two things that you can do to help me celebrate my birthday, because this is a really important project to me. I love these stories. I've been toiling over this project for a while, and I just want it to succeed. So, thank you so much for watching. Again, my name is Tamara, and I talk about books and writing, and it's my birthday, and I'm glad that you're here, and I see you in the next one. Bye.